We cover the Big Ten for a living, right? We watch it all. So you've come to the right place for the real Big Ten football power rankings as we wind down the regular season. Lockdown Big Ten starts right now.
You are Locked On Big Ten, your daily podcast on the Big Ten Conference. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On Big Ten. I'm Craig Shemon, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, now the #1 sports podcast network. Thank you for making us your first listen each and every day. Hit that free subscribe button so you'll never miss a single episode because we're here every single day. And you can share, follow, like, and hype YouTube videos as well. That will help us out as well. We're going to go through the power rankings 1 through 18. And, of course, there are implications as to who's going to get into the Big Ten championship game. We got it all, and we'll tell you about our live plans this weekend for Rivalry Weekend. But first, before we put them on the screen here, 1 through 18, and tell you why we did what we did this week, keep in mind, as we sit here today, going into Rivalry Weekend, there are 4 Big Ten teams that still have a chance to be in the Big Ten championship game: Ohio State and Indiana, and Oregon and Michigan. There are scenarios where both Ohio State and Indiana can lose and still be in the Big Ten championship game. There are scenarios where if they win, they're in. That's a done deal. There are various scenarios with Oregon and Michigan and how they get in. So let's take a look and see how they stack up when we'll go full screen here with our Big Ten football power rankings as we wind down the regular season. And we have had Indiana at #1 for some time. We have about a month or so. We made the argument that Indiana actually has a better roster than Ohio State, top to bottom, both sides of the ball, up and down. A lot of people argue with that, say the most talented people are on the Ohio State Buckeyes lineup. Sure, they got a lot of future NFL players. So does Indiana. And we make our case. Indiana coming off a bye week, taking on Purdue on Friday. Meanwhile, we'll find out more about Elijah Surratt and Drew Evans. That week off is certainly going to help the Hoosiers get healthy for this game. Ohio State, by the way, banged up for their game against Michigan on Saturday with their wide receivers, Carnell Tate and Jeremiah Smith. So they were out last week. And then you think about Ohio State, and they're squarely at #2. We could put them at 1A in the Big Ten. Other than the Texas game, nobody's come within 18 points of this team, and they have the #1 defense in the country. So the Ohio State Buckeyes strong at #2. I expect both Indiana and Ohio State to be in the Big Ten championship game. Meanwhile, Oregon, strong #3, proved its salt, with games against Iowa and then USC. And the thing is with Oregon, they still have some work to be done. They got to beat Washington. If they lose to Washington, they could get bounced out of the playoffs. But I think they're very balanced on offense and defense, and I like their chances. And Michigan, we got them at #4 this week. They moved up 1. They have the win over Maryland. They did run the table since the USC game, and now they have their chance to get into the playoffs if they can beat #1 Ohio State Saturday. It's going to be some rough weather, wintry stuff perhaps, and a full house. And some of you may look at this and go, well, wait a minute. Well, Michigan lost to USC. Why is Michigan ahead of USC? And I moved USC down. I basically flipped these two, Michigan and USC. The reason is, look, Michigan's still alive for a Big Ten championship, and USC is not. USC picked up their 3rd loss. And look, I certainly recognize here right now before you that USC did beat Michigan, but there are other circumstances here that we're looking at in total. All right. So, hey, sometimes teams lose to teams and they get outranked. We were looking at the college football playoffs. We're talking about teams like Notre Dame and Miami and all that stuff for weeks now. These things happen. But USC lost that game to Oregon. They had their chance. They did not get it, but still a strong season sitting at #5. Got the Iowa Hawkeyes sitting at #6. They had the game-winning field goal against Michigan State. And look, the Iowa Hawkeyes had their chance. They had games against USC and Oregon and Indiana and even Iowa State. Lost them all by just 1 score. And they're going to go down in the Hall of Very Good, not a Hall of Fame, not a great team, but a very, very, very good team. at number 6. Got the Washington Huskies sitting there. I moved them up 3. They deserve to be moved up a little bit, plus a slight adjustment. Look, they flirted in and out of the top 25 all year, but they went down to UCLA at the Rose Bowl. They treated it like a Rose Bowl, put roses on their pillows and all that kind of stuff. Went down there and laid down the hammer at 48-14, which wasn't a total surprise because Washington's a better team than UCLA, but Washington has almost never won there at the Rose Bowl in the past over the years. Illinois sitting at number 8. They dropped 1. They lost to Wisconsin, 27-10. Wisconsin's playing better lately. But Illinois, look, I've been touting them for a couple of weeks. Brett Bielema, had he run the table and then won a bowl game, he could have a 10-win season back-to-back years. That will not happen now with this loss this past week against Wisconsin. Northwestern, a strong number 9, where they were last week. They had that walk-off loss to Michigan a couple of weeks ago, but then they got the late field goal and held on to win against Minnesota, as Minnesota missed a 40-yarder at the Horn, and Northwestern got a win at Wrigley. And this is a solid football team. It really is a good football team. They're going bowling. David Braun doing a great job there. Penn State at number 10. I moved them up 3. Look, Penn State, I've been moving them down all season long. Penn State's playing good football right now. I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. There were a lot of people that thought that this team was good enough to be number 2 in the country. There's that much talent there. For whatever reason, the wheels fell off. It snowballed. It was horrible. But they're playing better football now. They got the win against Michigan State. They crushed Nebraska. Before that, I thought they played very well against Indiana and had a good half against Ohio State. So I'm moving them up. Penn State, top 10. You got to ask yourself, if they played your team today, would they win? They might. They're a lot better than they were at the beginning of the first half of the season. Nebraska, I've dropped them a lot. I've since Dylan Raiola got hurt and some other things, they just haven't been the same. And I've dropped them 3. They got crushed by Penn State. TJ Lateef is going the distance the rest of the way. Look, they're going bowling. They're going to have to do it with TJ Lateef, not Dylan Raiola. I drop Nebraska to number 11 as we switch the page there. Now, at number 12, I got Minnesota, dropped them 1. They missed that game-tying field goal at Northwestern. And they host Wisconsin next. Better watch out. Like I just said, Wisconsin is red hot. Speaking of Wisconsin, I've got them next at number 13. I moved them up 2 this week because they're starting to win football games. They beat a ranked Illinois team. And in fact, they beat when they play Washington. Washington was ranked. They're playing really well right now. Wisconsin is. UCLA, I dropped them 2 to number 14. They had that 3-game winning streak in the middle of the season with the coaching change, but they're back to losing football games. That was a pretty bad blowout against Washington, so they're sliding again. UCLA down to number 14. I got Rutgers at number 15. I dropped them 1. Oh, look, what are you going to do? The Rutgers was not going to go into Ohio State and win that game. I know Greg Schiano, former assistant there, has a little familiarity. Look, he was going for it on 4th down because he knew he had to. Just putting himself in bad situations, trying to hang with Ohio State. There's just nothing he could do. And I think he knew it. When he was doing the sideline interview at the end of the half, I thought, I could read his body language. He's doing everything he can. His team just wasn't equipped to go beat Ohio State. I got Maryland. They've lost 7 in a row, and they're sitting at number 16. Look, Mike Loxley's coming back. They lost to Michigan this weekend in a game that featured Malik Washington Jr. and Bryce Underwood, a couple of freshman quarterbacks in the Big Ten. Michigan State sitting at number 17, still 0 for the Big Ten. Tough way to lose at Iowa with the field goal like that at the Horn on senior day at Iowa at Kinnick Stadium. They're getting close. They've been playing a little bit better, but they just can't break through. And I don't have any sources on this. I just don't have any good feelings that Jonathan Smith is going to be back. I think they're going to make a change. Purdue coming in last at 18. They get to host number 2 Indiana. They call themselves the spoiler makers. Maybe they can come up with something against the Indiana Hoosiers. So there you have it. Those are our power rankings. Let me know in the comments section. Did we get it right? I think we did. I think we've been pretty close to being right on all season long. Again, we'll see how these games play out this weekend, all the different tiebreaker scenarios, and we'll find out once we got to get through the weekend. We got to play the games before we find out who's actually in the Big Ten championship game the following week. In the meantime, if you are new, hit that subscribe button because we're here every day. That way you'll never miss a single episode. And you can follow us and share and like. And we also have audio podcast, this audio version on Apple or Spotify. Wherever you are, we are. Video, audio, we're here every day, so you never miss a single episode. But if you hit that subscribe button, that would be great. And also, don't forget our website, talkbig10, 10.com. We have all of our podcasts there. You can go back for a second listen after this one. Check it out. In fact, go back. We had 2 podcasts today. We had a full-length podcast, 30-minute podcast, also today on our Locked On Big Ten channel. Check that out. We go into detail about all the tiebreakers and who can get into the Big Ten championship game. We lay it all out. It's a lot of fun, actually, kind of going through it. So check that out for a second listen when you're done here. And then while you're on our website, talkbig10.com, you can click the school logos, and it'll take you right to a store, and you can buy shirts with your school logo on it, pennants, hats, all that in time for Christmas right there, talkbig10.com. All right, we're going to tell you what we're going to do with our live podcast on Saturday. That's all coming up in just a minute as we look ahead to the weekend on Locked On Big Ten. Omaha Steaks. I mean, it's the holidays. People always think about Omaha Steaks, and it makes the holidays easier because it's the perfect gift. It's a great gift for that one person you're not really sure what to get. Omaha Steaks, you can't go wrong. They make it too simple for you. Whether you're treating yourself this season or sending something memorable to family or friends, Omaha Steaks delivers handcrafted perfection right to their door. This week is the best time to jump in because their cyber sale is here, and the deals are huge. The quality is fantastic, exactly what you hope for, with incredibly tender steaks, rich flavor, and meals that make hosting or weeknight cooking easier. And the variety is incredible. They're known for steaks. You can do that. They do burgers, comfort meals, sides, desserts. They got anything for everyone. Absolutely. So save big on unforgettable gifts with Omaha Steaks. Visit omahasteaks.com for 50% off statewide and an extra 20% off select favorites during their cyber sale. And for an additional $35 off, use the promo code college at the checkout. That's omahasteaks.com, promo code college. Terms apply. See site for details at omahasteaks.com. The NBA is back, and there's no better place to get in the action than FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. And even if you missed the start of a game, boom, jump right in, and you can get in live betting into games. You could combine it with earlier bets, all that stuff right there, and you'll be good to go. You can get even bigger payouts with the parlay. So right now, FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. So head to FanDuel.com and sign up and play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. And for Rivalry Weekend or bowls or college football, football is here. You can go with the Game Time app. Download the Game Time app, a couple of taps, and you're there. You can even see the view of the seat of the ticket you're about to buy. And you could get into these college games for as little as $25. Amazing deals. No surprises at checkout. No lines. Get your tickets with the Game Time app. So check it out and take the guesswork out of buying college football tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, that's promo code LOCKEDONCOLLEGE for $20 off. Swipe, tap, take it, go, download Game Time today. Thanks for checking us out here on Locked On Big Ten and making us your first listen each and every day. And also, thank you very much for making the Locked On the number one sports podcast network out there, period. You everydayers, thank you very much. Hey, hit that subscribe button so you never miss a single episode. It's free. And if you can do us a favor and share, follow, and like, and hype, that would be great as well. We're here every day with multiple podcasts, although we're going to take Thursday off. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. We'll be back on Friday with our previews and our pigskin picks, and then live on Saturday. Okay, and we're going to go live after the Ohio State-Michigan game. You could have guessed that. That's a noon kickoff, about 12:18 Eastern time. It'll be over around 3:30 Eastern time, 12:30 Pacific. So we're going to go live right after that. Right after the winning coach does the interview on the field, we go live. You get my immediate raw reaction to the game, a recap of everything that's happened in the Big Ten that day, and preview for what's coming up. Plus, I get your live real-time comments as well. We do this every weekend throughout the season. We've had a blast doing it. If you haven't done it, join us. You'll love it. Right after Ohio State, Michigan, going live. That'll do it for us here. Again, we'll talk to you on Friday, previewing every team, every game. Have a happy Thanksgiving in the meantime, and then we go live on Saturday. For Locked On Big Ten, I'm Craig Shemon. We'll see you then.